At the engagement party, a deepfake scandal video of me was played publicly. My fiancé slapped me across the face and announced the engagement was off. Then took his secretary's hand and said she was carrying his child. Everyone looked at me as if I were a filthy piece of trash. But standing amid all that humiliation, I calmly recited the complete medical records of the so-called fiancé, dates, hospitals, and diagnoses, and called the police on the spot, pointing out this was defamation, assault, pornography fabrication, and concealing an infectious disease. My name is Claire Jo. Tonight was supposed to be my engagement party with Evan Pierce. The venue, a top New York hotel. The guests, all his investors, company board members, and political figures. I was wearing an expensive gown, and after 10 years, I had finally waited for this day. We'd been dating since college, me, a PhD student at Harvard Medical School, him, a startup entrepreneur in Silicon Valley. 10 years of long-distance love, and I thought we'd finally made it. The MC was speaking. The atmosphere was lively. Evan held my hand, smiling perfectly. Then his secretary, Lily Summers, approached. She held a glass of champagne, smiling sweetly, speaking just loud enough for those around to hear. Claire, congrats. You look so different now. Almost didn't recognize you. Totally unlike the video. A second of silence fell over the crowd. What video? I looked at her. What video? Lily covered her mouth, eyes wide, like a child who'd spoken out of turn. Oh, sorry. I must have mistaken you. There are some videos online of a woman whose profile looks a lot like yours, but I'm sure I got it wrong. Every word she spoke was a poison needle. She didn't say porn video, but everyone understood. The guests' expressions changed, curious, judgmental, disdainful. Some lowered their heads, secretly searching on their phones. I understood immediately. This was a setup. I stayed calm. Lily, explain yourself. What video? Where? Show it now, in front of everyone, and tell the truth. Lily stepped back, eyes red. Claire, don't be mad. I just mentioned it casually. Those videos. I deleted them. Really. I was only worried about Evan, especially with so many important guests here tonight. She pointed toward Evan, toward the bigger picture. I looked at Evan, his brows furrowed. For the first time, his gaze at me held doubt and annoyance. He didn't immediately say, I believe my fiancé. He only said in a low voice, Claire, watch your manners. Watch my manners. My heart dropped. Evan's mother stepped over, gripping my hand tightly. She spoke softly, but loud enough for the crowd to hear. Claire, a young woman should respect herself. Some past things should stay buried. Don't make a scene now and embarrass everyone. Past things? What past do I have to hide? 10 years of grueling study. Living between lab and hospital, I have a past? Rage boiled over. I shook off her hand. This is defamation. I demand the police be called immediately to investigate. I pulled out my phone to dial. A hand yanked it away. Evan. His face darkened. Voice sharp. Are you crazy? Call the police? Tonight? All my investors are here. Do you want my company's stock to crash tomorrow? He cared about his business. His image. I looked into his eyes, suddenly understanding. He wasn't afraid of losing face by calling the police. He was afraid the investigation would reveal the truth, that Lily was behind this. And Lily was his most trusted secretary, someone he had a very close relationship with. He feared that truth. Lily saw Evan snatch my phone and a flicker of triumph crossed her eyes. She acted even more innocent. Evan, don't blame Claire, it's all my fault. I spoke out of turn, tears fell. I just accidentally saw those videos before, was shocked, and kept it to myself. Tonight seeing Claire so happy, I just let it slip. She kept emphasizing video, saw, and deleted. Every repetition cemented in the guests' minds, there's a video. She watched it. The woman in it looks like me. Evan patted Lily's shoulder casually. It's okay, don't cry. Then he turned to me, his tone impatient. Claire, you're not getting any younger. Stop being so sensitive. Lily didn't mean any harm. I trust you. All right? I trust you. 10 years of love. Reduced to a dismissive I trust you, spoken after blatantly siding with another woman. You trust me? I stared at him. Then let me call the police. Let them prove my innocence. Or have Lily, right now, produce the source of the video. What account? When did she see it? On what platform? Lily sobbed. The account. I deleted it. I deleted all the videos. I really was just worried. Deleted? Gone? No evidence? You can say whatever you want, right? I sneered. Whispers grew louder around us. So it's true, Evan is surprisingly tolerant. Harvard PhD? Doing this in private? My name, my degree, became mockery. Evan gripped my wrist hard. Claire, do you have to make a scene? I said I trust you. Can you be reasonable? His eyes screamed, "You're trouble." Lily cowered behind him, whispering, "Claire, don't. I'm scared." I just told the truth. Evan immediately shielded her further. His gaze toward me turned ice cold. "Claire, if you keep this up, you'll have to go home and calm down." In that moment, in front of everyone, I, the bride-to-be, was defined as a troublesome woman, and the secretary who framed me became the victim he had to protect. Go home? I watched him protect Lily, my heart filling with ice. 10 years. I had been blind. I'm not going anywhere. I stood tall, scanning the crowd filming on their phones. Until this is cleared, no one gets to judge me. Lily, you said there's a video? Fine. The hotel has a projector. Connect your phone now and show everyone the video you accidentally saved. I forced her to produce evidence. Lily went pale, eyes pleading toward Evan. Evan opened his mouth to say something. I didn't give him the chance. Scared? Or do you not have it at all? Lily clenched her teeth, as if finally making up her mind. Fine, since you insist on seeing it. Claire, my cloud storage might still have some leftover cached files. She walked toward the hotel's control console, fumbling nervously with the controls. The guests grew visibly excited, craning their necks. Evan tried to stop her, but it was too late. The massive screen in the ballroom suddenly lit up. Dim lighting, explicit, obscene images, and the woman's face, my face. The features, the contours, almost identical. Whoa! The room exploded. Camera shudders, gasps, laughter, like a tidal wave swallowing me whole. Every drop of blood in my body froze. That wasn't me. Absolutely not me. But that face. It was too similar. So similar that even I felt dizzy for a split second. AI face swapping. The term flashed through my mind. A high-end AI deepfake. Evan's face turned ashen. He stared at the screen, then snapped his gaze back to me. The doubt in his eyes twisted into disgust and humiliation. He didn't even shut the screen off right away. He let that horrifying video play for over 10 seconds before someone finally cut the signal. But it was enough. Everyone had seen it. Evan's mother let out a shrill scream and lunged forward, grabbing the front of my gown. You slut! Shameless trash! How dare you film something this filthy? You've disgraced our entire family. Rip, my dress tore open. Cold air hitting my chest. Your parents aren't even in the US. No one ever taught you what shame is? Her sharp nails nearly broke my skin. I shoved her away hard, clutching my chest, and looked around. Every face read the same: contempt, disgust, entertainment. I looked at Evan, my fiancé. He stood there, fists clenched. Finally, he spoke. His voice was dry, heavy, like a judge's final gavel. Claire, even if that's real, I'll accept it. We'll talk about this later. Boom. My world collapsed. It wasn't that he couldn't tell it was fake. He chose to accept it, for his pride. To shut this down as fast as possible. He chose to default to believing I was a woman who'd made obscene videos. He wanted his so-called tolerance and magnanimity to highlight my supposed filth. This wasn't a mistake. Not a misunderstanding. This was a calculated, deliberate annihilation of my dignity. Accept it? He accepted it? 10 years of love. My character. My innocence. Reduced to a condescending I'll accept it. The last shred of reason burned away, along with the last trace of attachment. Evan Pierce. My voice was eerily calm. I'm giving you one last chance. Call the police. Now. Immediately. Otherwise, we are finished. Completely. Lily rushed over, pretending to grab my hand. I flung her away. She used the momentum to collapse onto her knees with a thud, crying dramatically, Claire, please spare Evan. This is all my fault. Don't push him anymore. He loves you so much, he's even willing to endure this. If you keep going, you'll destroy his career. Once again, she successfully reignited Evan's anger and his fear for his career. Evan stepped forward and shoved me hard. Wearing high heels, I staggered back, my lower back slamming into the icy champagne tower table. Pain exploded through me. Still not satisfied, he raised his hand high, in front of everyone's stunned eyes. Smack. A sharp slap landed across my face. My ears rang. My cheek burned. The ballroom fell into deathly silence. He hit me, at our engagement party, in front of all his most important guests, to protect the woman who framed me. Evan froze for a split second after hitting me. Then rage swallowed him whole. He pointed at my face and shouted, "Look at you! You are a lunatic! You forced me into this." Lily immediately scrambled up, rushing to Evan, stroking his chest tenderly. She turned on me, accusing sharply, "Claire, how could you do this? How could you attack Evan and force him to defend himself?" Her ability to twist reality was truly masterful. Hotel security noticed the commotion and started moving toward us. Evan took a deep breath, as if making a monumental decision. He stopped looking at me. Instead, he turned to the guests and took Lily Summers' hand, the same hand that had just been on the floor. She stood up and leaned into him. Evan's voice echoed through the still-live microphone, "Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies for the spectacle tonight. My engagement to Miss Claire Jo is hereby officially cancelled due to fundamental differences." He paused, tightening his grip on Lily's hand. "But tonight's banquet remains an engagement party. I hereby announce, my fiancée is Lily Summers." The room erupted. Cancelled me. Replaced me. On the same night. On the spot. The humiliation was beyond measure. Before anyone could process the shock, Lily nestled into Evan's arms, cheeks flushed, and added shyly into the mic, and I'm already carrying Evan's baby. We truly love each other. An illegitimate child? Another thunderbolt detonated, leaving everyone, including me, reeling. A baby? I covered my face and stared at Evan in disbelief. He didn't deny it. Instead, he pulled Lily closer, his expression one of reckless acceptance, even a hint of smugness. "Evan," my voice was hoarse, "is what she said true?" He looked at my swollen face without guilt, only satisfaction and disdain. "It's true. Lily's 2 months pregnant," he said loudly, for everyone to hear. "Claire, do you understand now why I can't marry you? Your past is dirty. Lily is pure, kind, and now carrying my child. She's 100 times cleaner than you." He used the word clean to flay me alive, using his child with another woman to crush 10 years of our relationship. The investors and board members exchanged subtle looks. Cheating and illegitimate children weren't honorable, but compared to sex videos, they suddenly seemed understandable. Some of them looked at Evan differently. Evan, meanwhile, was lost in his fantasy of protecting true love and bloodline. He spoke gently to Lily. "Don't be afraid. You'll have me, and the baby." Then he turned to security and coldly pointed at me. "This woman is emotionally unstable. Escort her out." 2 guards stepped forward to grab me. I struggled. In the chaos, someone tripped me. I crashed hard onto the floor. My palms scraped against the icy marble. Skin breaking, blood seeping out. Sharp pain shot through my ankle. I lay there, utterly humiliated. Evan only watched coldly, arm around Lily, unmoved. This was the man I loved for 10 years. The security guards were coming for me again. I forced myself to stand, ignoring the pain in my hands and ankle, and stared Evan in the eye. I asked the final question. My voice was quiet, but it cut through the murmuring crowd like a blade. "Evan, when you were with her, did you know she has HIV? HIV? The human immunodeficiency virus?" Time seemed to freeze. All sound vanished. All movement stopped. Evan's fake tenderness and smugness froze, and then shattered into sheer disbelief and panic. He spun toward Lily in his arms as if she were scalding hot, and shoved her away. Lily stiffened, her face draining pale in an instant. You're lying," she screamed first, voice shrill and panicked. "You're slandering me. This is revenge." "Evan, she's taking revenge on me," but her reaction was over the top, way too panicked. Evan had already stepped back several paces, distancing himself from Lily. His eyes were full of doubt and fear as he looked at her. He instinctively looked down at his own hands, the ones that had been holding her just moments ago. The guests went into total chaos. HIV? Are you serious? Oh my God. Evan. He stepped back. Panic spread like a contagion. Those who had been spectators moments ago now scrambled to put distance between themselves and Lily. I straightened up slowly, adjusted my torn gown, and wiped the blood from my hands. My face burned from the slap, but my mind was razor sharp. Slander? I said, looking at the trembling Lily. In November 2019, Charité University Hospital in Berlin, Department of Infectious Diseases and Hematology. Patient, Lily Summers. Confirmed HIV-1 infection. Attending physician, Dr. Muller. Initial treatment plan included dolutegravir. Do you want me to recite your case number? Should I contact the hospital now to verify? Fluent German medical terms. Precise dates and locations. Exact details. With every word I spoke, Lily's face grew paler. Evan's face turned ghostly white. I was on exchange in Germany, Lily stammered. How do you know? Because that month, I was doing collaborative research in the hospital's neurosurgery department. I said calmly. I attended the infectious disease case discussions. I saw your case images. Your face left an impression on me, just like today. The authority of the medical world, my ultimate weapon at that moment. HIV isn't a death sentence now. With standard treatment, carriers can live normal lives and have children. I said coldly to the nearly collapsing Lily. But you hid your medical history, had sexual relations without informing your partner or taking proper precautions, and even became pregnant, Lily. That is a crime. I turned to the barely standing Evan. Evan, I suggest you, and anyone tonight who may have had close contact with her, get tested and take preventive measures immediately. While casual contact isn't infectious. I didn't finish, but everyone understood. No! Lily screamed, losing control. You've ruined me. You've ruined everything. She tried to lunge at me but was held down by security. Evan stared at me, then at the frenzied Lily, then back at himself. Terror and regret washed over him. His lips trembled, but no words came. Those who had previously looked down on me, those who were filming on their phones, their eyes changed. Fear, regret, and then a faint respect and appeal for help toward me. I walked up to one of the young guests who had been filming most aggressively and held out my hand. Delete the video from your phone, or give me a backup as evidence. Otherwise, I can sue you for invasion of privacy and defamation. And by the way, do you want me to assess your risk of infection? The young man nearly dropped his phone in terror. He scrambled to delete everything and even removed any cloud backups. Who else filmed this? I scanned the room. Several people quietly started deleting their recordings. I knew I couldn't get them all, but it was enough. I retrieved the phone Evan had snatched from me earlier, which had fallen when I hit the ground. The screen was cracked, but it still worked. In front of everyone, I dialed 911. Hello, I need to report a crime. Location, Manhattan. 20, Hotel Ballroom. This involves serious defamation, assault, dissemination of fabricated obscene material, and deliberate concealment of a major infectious disease that could endanger public health. Yes, the suspects are all present. Sirens approached. The ballroom erupted into chaos. No one cared about the engagement party anymore. Lily cowered in a corner, muttering, "It's over." Evan slumped into a chair, stunned, vacant-eyed. Police arrived quickly, cordoned off the scene, and began questioning people separately. I calmly and clearly recounted everything: Lily's defamation, the AI deepfake, Evan's violence, and Lily's concealment of her HIV status. Forensics technicians preliminarily examined the playback devices and confirmed obvious video manipulation, with further verification pending. As the police prepared to take Lily away, she suddenly broke down. "It wasn't just me. It wasn't just me," she screamed, pointing at a quiet, well-dressed middle-aged man in the crowd. "It was him. Victor Shaw made me do it. He paid me. He got a technician to make the video. He said that if Claire's reputation was destroyed, Evan would dump her, and he could buy Evan's company at a bargain after the scandal. He orchestrated everything." Victor Shaw. Several investors gasped. A notorious aggressive Silicon Valley investor, and one of Evan's competitors, always trying to swallow Evan's company. He had reached all the way here. He promised me a large sum of money and to send me abroad if it worked, Lily wailed. Evan, he even suggested I get close to you. He said Evan likes highly educated women like you, he won't cherish them and is easier to tempt with novelty. Evan's eyes went red as he snapped at Victor, then looked at Lily. He realized from start to finish he had been cheated on, infected, and used as a pawn, a tool to attack his own company? Humiliation and rage shook him. Victor Shaw remained calm, though grim. Officer, this is the rambling of a crazy woman. There's no proof. Proof? Lily laughed maniacally. I have recordings on my phone, bank transfers, all in my cloud. She had prepared for self-protection in advance. The police immediately focused on Victor Shaw. At that moment, the full truth of the engagement party finally came to light. This wasn't just a melodrama of betrayal and love. It was a meticulously orchestrated hunt, starting with the destruction of a woman's reputation, aimed at corporate conquest, and I, Claire Jo, had almost become the sacrificial lamb in that hunt. Evan looked at everything before him, at my cold, unyielding gaze, at the frantic Lily, at the brooding Victor, at the surrounding guests whose eyes shifted between pity and disdain. Then, thud, he dropped to his knees right in front of me. Claire, I was wrong. Evan slapped his own face, again and again, the sharp smacks echoing. I was blind. I was stupid. I was used. I am not human. He wept, snot and tears mingling, with none of the polished tech elite air remaining. Please forgive me, let's start over. I know you love me the most, our 10 years together. He tried to reach for my leg. I stepped back, avoiding him. Evan's mother lunged forward as well, gripping my hand, tears streaming down her face. Claire, my dear, it's my fault. I'm old and foolish. But see, Evan knows he was wrong. Forgive him. He was just confused. It was that wretched woman and Victor who caused all this. I looked at this mother and son duo as if they were actors in an absurd play. The investors around us watched coldly. No one spoke. The business world is brutal, and Evan's performance tonight had already revealed his incompetence, impulsiveness, and unworthiness of trust. His value plummeted. I gently withdrew my hand and asked Evan only one question: if Lily's HIV had never been exposed, if her plan had succeeded, and I had been ruined and cast aside, while she smoothly became your wife, what would you have done with me, your fiancée of 10 years? The woman you slapped in public tonight? Evan's cries stopped abruptly. His mouth hung open. He froze. How would he handle it? He would treat me as a shameful chapter to erase. Maybe offer me some money, if I clung too much. Make me sign a non-disclosure agreement, and sever all contact forever. He might even silently allow Lily and Victor to further suppress me, to prevent me from speaking out. His expression said it all. He had never considered what would happen to me if the truth didn't come out. The moment he chose to trust Lily and slapped me, I became disposable garbage in his eyes. See, I nodded. You never considered it, so your remorse is worthless. I turned to the police. Officer, may I give a detailed statement? Also, I wish to file separate charges for the personal injury and defamation. I no longer looked at him. Public opinion began to shift once the police took Lily and Victor Shaw for investigation, and the video of Evan kneeling and crying went viral. The hashtag Harvard female PhD set up and framed shot to the top of trending searches. Evan Pierce's name became linked with scumbag, idiot, domestic abuser, potential HIV carrier. His reputation plummeted. Belated pain and remorse? No, I didn't need them. The right to forgive was in my hands, and I chose never to forgive. Once the authorities intervened, things moved swiftly. Forensic analysis confirmed the obscene video played at the engagement party was indeed created using deepfake technology. The original actress was a woman from Eastern Europe. The manipulation was sophisticated but not flawless. Lily Summers' phone and cloud data were recovered, containing complete communication, recordings, and transfer records with Victor Shaw. Incontrovertible evidence. Lily was formally charged with multiple crimes: defamation, dissemination of fabricated obscene materials, intentional harm, HIV concealment, and conspiracy to commit corporate fraud. Victor Shaw's problems were even worse: corporate espionage, fraud, criminal instigation. His investment firm came under investigation. Investors pulled out. His own survival was at stake. Evan's company stock halved on the first day after the scandal broke, and continued to decline. Partners froze collaborations. The board held emergency meetings. Angry shareholders demanded explanations. Evan tried PR, hired spin doctors, released statements claiming to be a victim deceived by others. But the video, him slapping me, announcing he was dumping me for Lily, and later kneeling and crying, went viral. No PR spin could compete with clear footage of violence and stupidity. His mother tried to contact me, begging me to say something, claiming Evan knew he was wrong and suggesting we settle privately. Through my lawyer, I declined all private settlement offers. The legal process would run its course. Media outlets dug deep. They discovered I was a PhD from a top medical school, holding multiple medical patents, a promising young scholar in the field. My public image transformed from engagement party fiancé suspected of obscene video to elite woman framed in a conspiracy, betrayed by her fiancé, but achieving spectacular revenge with professional expertise. Public opinion completely reversed. I cleared my name, not with tears or excuses, but with solid evidence and professional authority. And this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning of reckoning. Once the legal machine started, it crushed all the villains. Lily was convicted on multiple counts and sentenced to years in prison. Her fake pregnancy medical records were also exposed. She was never pregnant. It was a lie to trap Evan. Victor Shaw was convicted of financial crimes, sentenced heavily. His fund dissolved. His empire fined. His corporate kingdom collapsed. Evan's test results came back HIV positive. Modern medicine could control it, but he faced lifelong medication, social stigma, and health complications. His company's stock couldn't fall further. The board voted to remove him as CEO. He resigned with nothing, keeping only some worthless shares. The walls fell, and everyone abandoned him. Former friends and partners cut ties. His mother, unable to bear the disgrace, fell gravely ill. Medical costs and her son's shame aged her rapidly. Evan Pierce, the name once spoken in Silicon Valley tech circles and elite social circles, was now toxic. No one wanted to mention him. He burned bright like a shooting star, leaving only ugly remnants and a path of contempt. He tried to sell remaining assets and flee the US, only to be blocked at every turn. His life had begun to repay, line by line, for his own stupidity, vanity, and cruelty. And all of it started on that engagement night. The night he chose to believe lies rather than protect the woman he claimed to love for 10 years. I didn't stay in New York to watch the aftermath of that ruin. Once the dust settled, I immediately returned to Europe. My stage was never an engagement party, never beside a man. My stage has always been the lab, under the surgical lights, in academic journals. I returned to a top medical research center and threw myself into the patent project I was leading for a new neurointerventional device. Because of the sensational trial and its dramatic turnaround, I unexpectedly gained immense public attention. Academic institutions recognized my professionalism and resilience. The media needed a positive role model. A few months later, I was invited to give a keynote at an international medical summit in London. Under the spotlight, dressed in a sleek suit, I presented my research with composure. The large screen behind me displayed intricate brain scans and data charts. The audience, leading experts from around the world. The presentation ended. Applause thundered. During post-talk interviews, a reporter cautiously asked about that unpleasant past. I smiled. Calm and resolute, that was an illegal, personal crime attempt against me, which has already been adjudicated by the law. It reminds us that technology can be misused, but truth and professional integrity can never be tainted. For me, that chapter is closed. My focus has always been, and will remain, on how to use my expertise to help more people. My words were widely reported. I had completely transformed from the scandalous engagement party fiancé to a symbol of professionalism, resilience, and renewal in medicine. Colleagues expressed support. Academic collaborations came flooding in. My world had returned to the orbit I knew well, one built on knowledge and achievement. My emotions stabilized. I no longer needed to prove my innocence to anyone. I no longer needed to explain my choices. I certainly no longer needed to revisit the ashes of that betrayal. About 6 months later, I received an email from Evan Pierce. Long, very long. He described the hell he had lived through over the past 6 months, pain and illness, alienation, his mother's deteriorating health, financial ruin, constant social rejection. He said he regretted every single day. He reflected on the entire sequence of events, admitting he was seduced by Lily's youthful admiration and Victor's hints of greater gain, admitting deep down he felt overwhelmed by my strength and independence, while Lily's dependence gave him comfort, admitting he underestimated our relationship, underestimated me, and overestimated his ability to manipulate the plot. He acknowledged his own vileness, selfishness, and stupidity. He said he didn't ask for forgiveness, didn't seek reconciliation. He only asked me to remember him, to remember our 10 years together, to remember that he truly loved me, as he believed, and to remember his now living hell of regret. He said it was the only meaning left for him to survive. I read the email quietly, without a flicker of emotion, no hatred, no satisfaction, no pity. It felt like reading a stranger's story. The details of our love had already faded in memory, blurred and erased by the cold and pain of that night of betrayal. His so-called love in that email was, to me, like an expired drug, unable to evoke any response. I closed the email. I didn't reply. Belated confession, profound reflection, painful consequences, all fine, but none of it concerned me anymore. Later, I heard fragments of news through mutual acquaintances. Evan's mother, the woman who had ripped my gown and called me shameless at the engagement, her health fluctuated. The wealthy socialites who had fawned over her before now avoided her. When occasionally seen at charity events, she pretended not to notice anyone. Her social circle had completely shut her out. She seemed to age rapidly, mentally and physically, sometimes muttering apologies to the air, admitting she had failed to raise her son. I heard she had tried to contact me to apologize, but all my contact info had been updated. She couldn't reach me. These reports stirred no resentment in me, no hate, just, oh, that's how it is. Everyone pays for their choices. She chose to blindly defend her son, to trample someone else's dignity. The loss of her own dignity and social standing was her price. Fair. I bore her no ill will, held no grudge. We would have no further connection in this life. Cleanly severed. The consequences of the previous generation belonged to them. My path lay ahead. My research projects achieved groundbreaking progress. Patents reached final review. Because of the previous incident's notoriety and my positive professional image, several top medical investment firms sought me out, hoping to fund my projects or recruit me as chief scientific officer. I declined offers from the giants. Instead, leveraging the resources and networks available, I partnered with like-minded female scientists, doctors, and entrepreneurs to establish a Women's Medical Technology Innovation Alliance. We supported each other's projects, shared resources, and mentored and funded young female researchers. From being scrutinized, judged, and used as a pawn in a corporate power game, I became a rulemaker, a resource allocator, a voice. I was no longer the person defined by others. I defined my own value, knowledge, skill, output, social impact. Romance was no longer the core of my life. Love was no longer required to keep my world turning. Selfhood became my anchor. The old scars, when recalled, no longer pierced me. They became part of my armor, reminders, not shackles. My future was limitless. I later heard that Evan had relocated to a low-cost country, surviving on meager savings and medication, disappearing from everyone's view. Victor Shaw spent his days in prison, counting time. Lily Sue struggled through prison and relentless social stigma. They became cautionary tales in the community. See what happens when you cross a high-intelligence professional woman. See the cost of dirty business tactics. And I, standing on the sunny lawn of an ancient European university, just finishing a successful academic presentation, was surrounded by students eager to ask questions, their eyes full of admiration. Colleagues came over, smiling, discussing where to celebrate that evening. A warm breeze brushed my face. I didn't need to forgive anyone, that was too draining. I didn't need to retaliate, they had already been punished by their own choices. I didn't need to reconcile with the past, it simply existed. My achievements, my new life, the order I had built, the people I helped, these alone were the ultimate response to the past, the most complete dimension-reducing strike. I looked at the deep blue sky, and suddenly, it became clear, I was never the damsel who needed a prince to save her. I am the storm. I am the one who survived the fiercest malice and destructive blows, and through my own strength, claimed the ultimate victory.